Abusers aim to throw survivors off balance by exerting power and control at random times. Then again, because they often repeat their power and control tactics over and over, survivors often know that the next abusive episode is likely just around the corner. A safety plan is a form of protection that allows a survivor to prepare what they can do during or between abusive incidents to keep themselves and their children safe. This might involve how they can escape, where they can go, who they can rely on to help them, and the additional protections they can put in place to possibly stay gone for good. It might be difficult to see the level of danger a survivor is in while they're experiencing abuse. Consider calling a local domestic violence hotline and ask an advocate to help you create a safety plan. They may also be able to walk you through risk assessments, talk about shelter options, and provide other local resources such as support groups, get legal help should you need to go to court. Remember, you can call a hotline even if you're not ready to leave. Only the survivor knows when it's safest to leave an abuser. Therefore, a safety plan may not be a permanent escape plan. It may be the leave for right now plan, and that's okay. Ideally, every survivor would live a life without abuse, but we understand this takes careful planning, especially because leaving an abuser is notoriously the most dangerous time for a survivor. So, to create a safety plan, in safety planning, the idea is that once you get away from an abuser, you may want to get an order of protection, press charges, file for divorce, or file for custody of your children. You may also have pets that you want to make sure you can retain as well. In all these instances, having proof of the abuse is only going to help you. Evidence that can help you would include copies of police reports, medical records detailing injuries or stress related diagnoses, photos or videos of any injuries or damage caused by abusers, screenshots of abusive or threatening text messages or emails, or recordings of threatening voicemails or conversations, a journal tracking days, times, locations, and details of abusive incidents, physical and non physical. If you need to leave in a hurry, you may not have time to collect your things. You may need to simply run out the door. If possible, pack a bag with daily necessities, important documents, ideally some cash and things that your children and pets will need, and store it at a friend's house, your place of work, or somewhere else that your abusive partner won't be able to find it. Items you may want to consider packing would include important paperwork, birth certificates, and social security cards for yourself and your children, driver's license and or passports, W-2s and pay stubs, work permits, government benefits card, green card or immigration papers, marriage, divorce, and custody papers, legal protection or restraining orders and reports and records of any police reports you have filed, health insurance cards and medical records, your children's school records, immunization records, financial records and bank account numbers, apartment rental agreement or lease or house deed, car title, registration, and insurance documentation. Keep photos of these documents in a secure digital file. In some cases, photos will be sufficient proof of documentation, and in other cases, the photos will make it easier for you to replace the document if you need to leave without it. Also, want to make sure you have money, cash, and prepaid credit cards that can't be traced, credit cards and the PIN numbers you need to withdraw cash, ATM card, checks, and small valuables that you could sell if need be. For communication, a post office box or safe address where you can forward your mail, phone calling card, prepaid cell phone, or a cell phone with a new contract and number, your address book or cell phone contacts. If possible, secure new doctors, dentists, orthodontists, veterinarians, schools, and other locations for yourself, your children, and your pets so your abusive partner can't find you in those places, and make a list of the contact information for each to take with you. Medical supplies, current medications and prescriptions for yourself and for your children, eyeglasses, contact lens, hearing aids, and any other medical devices you or your children need, and other items, pets, their records, and any needed items like food, a leash, bedding, and medication, keys, clothing, small toys or books for your children, any keepsakes you would like to have. Leave a spare set of car keys with someone you trust in case the abuser takes yours to try to prevent you from leaving. Next time you feel things start to escalate, or the next time you have a window of opportunity to leave without the abuser around, plan where you can go. This could be an emergency shelter, which will need advance notice, so contact an advocate there. Many shelters will accommodate pets, either at the shelter or by offering a nearby free boarding service until you can find a permanent safe place. Do your research. Many shelters maintain a high level of security and confidentiality. A friend or family member's house that the abuser doesn't know the location of or is far enough away that it'll be difficult for the abuser to get to you. Just make sure you know the custody laws in your state if you take the children across state lines. If feasible, there is a hotel or apartment that you pay for with cash so the abuser cannot track you there. Speaking of tracking, keep in mind that if you have a cell phone, the abuser may be able to trace your location, so consider getting a pay-as-you-go temporary phone and leaving your cell behind. In the best case scenario, the survivor escapes the abuser, presses charges, and the abuser goes to jail for a long time and never bothers the survivor again, and the survivor begins a new, safe, healthy life. And yes, that can happen. But in less than ideal scenarios, the abuser will use tactics they've used before to ramp up control if they suspect the survivor is planning to leave. When an abuser feels like they're losing control, it is often the most dangerous time for a survivor. Prepare for this by thinking out different scenarios that could happen and what you would do. For example, if an abuser always shuts the bedroom door to close you in before she becomes violent, can you unlock a window ahead of time, given you're on the ground floor, and exit through it when this starts? If an abuser threatens to keep or harm your children or pets if you leave, can you make sure that you're in a safe place before you leave, such as taking them to a trusted relative's house? Can you create a code word that if you say it in front of your children, they'll know to run next door to the neighbor's house and call 911? After a survivor leaves an abusive partner or an abuser is forced to leave a shared home, in the case of being arrested, for instance, or in the rare case of a kick-out order, survivors need to stay vigilant to ensure their safety. Consider taking the following steps. Secure an order of protection that will give police a reason to arrest the abuser if they try to contact, find, or stalk you. Alert your place of employment and your children's school and give them a photo of the abuser so they can alert you if he or she comes around. Create a variety of your routes to and from school or work, and if possible, change your schedule and routine. If you always visit the same coffee shop and the same grocery store, change it so that it's not as easy for the abuser to locate you. Take a break from social media to give the abuser less opportunity to track or harass you. Change your phone number and hide your mailing address. Plan your response if the abuser reaches out with promises to change or threats if you don't return. It may be that going strictly non-contact will be the best option for you. In the case of threats, record each one, and if there is a restraining order in place, report each one. Always know that you can reach out to an advocate for help or support anytime you feel uncertain or scared. Consider your emotional safety also. Leaving an abusive partner can be a big change. Relying on oneself and possibly adjusting to a new environment can be stressful and disorienting, even if logically you feel safer. It may be helpful to go through this 4-step emotional safety plan that can help you address the trauma you endured, understand the mix of emotions that may arise, and find adequate support. Here are 4 programs that I personally am familiar with that could provide you, that these will also provide you potentially examples of what to expect. The first organization I'll briefly talk about is Genesis House. Genesis House 1 provides shelter to 8 mothers with children who are homeless. Some of those mothers are also pregnant. These residents stay approximately 45 days while they work with them to secure employment and make permanent living arrangements. Genesis House 2 offers transitional living and emotional support to mothers who are attending school. The student program is designed to strengthen women's knowledge and practice in areas of education, finances, and parenting. Personal growth is promoted through case management, mental health counseling, and mentors who present a wide range of life skills presentations with the goal of becoming self supporting and independent. 4 student mothers and their children can reside in this home. Genesis House 3 provides shelter for 6 homeless pregnant women. These residents often move to Genesis House 2 after delivery if they're enrolled in school. Residents are encouraged to complete their education so they can become self-supporting and independent. Second program I'll briefly talk about is the Salvation Army Domestic Violence Program, a certified domestic violence center that serves adult and child survivors of domestic violence through shelter and supportive services. Services are confidential, voluntary, and free. Voice hotline 24 hours a day, text weekends 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The program provides emergency services, legal and financial assistance, counseling, housing support, programs for children, and community education. The next program I'll talk about is Serene Harbor. They have a dedicated team of certified advocates who are committed to helping individuals overcome the trauma of abuse and create a new, healthier path in life. They offer a range of programs and services to help develop the tools needed to become self-sufficient and heal from the trauma. They believe that everyone deserves to have a life free from abuse, and they support you every step of the way. If you're in immediate danger, they ask you to call 911. If you need assistance, don't hesitate to contact their 24/7 confidential hotline, where you can speak, text, or TTY with a certified trained advocate. If calling is not an option, they also offer a confidential chat service located at the bottom right of the screen on their website, where you can message them for your support. Serene Harbor offers survivors of domestic violence and their children a safe refuge where they receive compassionate care and support. Their shelter provides warm beds and addresses essential needs such as food and toiletries. They understand that healing and moving forward require more than just physical safety. Their counseling programs provide a safe space for emotional healing, while their job support services assist in empowering individuals to regain independence and build a secure future. Their shelter and services are always available free of charge to survivors of domestic violence. Their ultimate goals remain constant to ensure safety and empower you to reclaim control over your life. At Serene Harbor, they ensure that you, your children, and pets all have a comfortable place to sleep, while their priority is to provide safety for as many individuals as possible. It may sometimes mean sharing rooms with other residents. Rest assured, their primary focus is to offer a secure and peaceful environment where you can rest your head at night. Everyone deserves a safe place. They're committed to providing that for you, your children, and your pets. Upon your arrival at the domestic violence shelter, you'll meet with a dedicated advocate. The advocate will listen to your needs and goals, work closely with you to develop a personalized plan for your journey towards healing and empowerment. Throughout your stay at the shelter, your advocate will serve as a consistent source of support. They'll be there to guide you and connect you with a wide range of life-changing resources and free services. These invaluable resources may include counseling sessions to address your emotional well-being, group support to foster a sense of community, assistance in finding suitable housing options, legal guidance to navigate any necessary legal processes, job support to enhance your employment prospects, and more. They believe that no survivor should face these challenges alone. Their compassionate advocates are committed to ensuring that you have access to all the necessary tools and support systems to help you rebuild your life. As a resident of Serene Harbor, you will experience the benefits of living in a supportive community of fellow survivors. Within that community, they ensure that your needs are met. Their pantry, always accessible to you, offers a variety of items for shared meals and a communal kitchen. Additionally, their well-stocked self-service laundry is at your disposal. It is crucial for you to understand that during your stay with them, they will go above and beyond to provide you with everything that you require, from essentials like t-shirts to personal care items. Their goal is to enable you to fully concentrate on your journey toward healing and rejuvenation in body, mind, and soul. When you make the courageous decision to enter a domestic violence shelter, it often sparks inquiries about life beyond its walls. Where will I find a home? How can I independently support myself and my children? Rest assured, they're here to assist you in finding answers to those questions and more. The most exciting aspect, you have complete control over shaping your future. At Serene Harbor, they respect your autonomy and will never dictate or impede your choices. Your desires and aspirations are center stage from now on. Even after you transition from the shelter, their support continues. They offer counseling, group support, and valuable connections to resources, ensuring that they remain by your side as you pursue your dreams. And finally, the last organization I'll talk about with multiple programs is Women's Center. Their mission is to assist in creating safe, health, and self-sufficient lives by providing support, education, counseling, information, and services to survivors of domestic, dating, and sexual violence, and to those suffering the ill effects of poverty, homelessness, and mental health challenges. The Victim Service Program is committed to assisting victims and survivors of domestic, sexual, and dating violence, victims of stalking and human trafficking through their advocacy program. The primary goal of their program is to provide a support system. They will provide support, information, counseling, education, and educate about the dynamics of domestic violence relationship. Services include creating a safety plan, assist in the filing process for an injunction or for protection order, provide legal advocacy support, court accompaniment during the hearing, arrange for interpreters for court appearances for non-English speaking victims, assist in the completion of application for the address confidentiality program, assist in the completion of application forms for crime victims compensation, for medical and counseling bills or lost wages incurred because of the crime, a personal protection class for Women's Center clients, and emergency housing. The Sexual Assault Victim Services, SAVS, is a rape crisis program working to provide free and confidential support and advocacy services for sexual assault victims and their loved ones. SAVS Rape Crisis Helpline is available 24 hours a day to provide information, support, referrals for counseling, and other community resources. SAVS victim advocates provide emotional support and assistance to male and female victims of sexual assault. Advocates are available 24 hours a day to accompany victims to the Forensic Exam Center or at local hospitals for evidence collection. SAVS staff advocates are also available at the Women's Center locations during business hours to meet with victims in need of assistance. Advocates are trained to help navigate the personal, legal, and medical challenges that many people face after a sexual assault. The Women's Center offers individual, group, and family counseling services in their locations. Free services are available to individuals who have experienced trauma due to sexual assault and domestic violence issues. They also provide general mental health services for issues related to depression, anxiety, grief, and adjustment, or other mental health problems. Their behavioral health specialist understands the challenges people face when dealing with mental health conditions. For general mental health services, they accept payment based on a per-session established rate. In a drop-in group, you will be provided with information, invited to explore and discuss, and ultimately gain skills to help you improve your mental health. Domestic Violence Support Group, a free open support group for adults who have experienced verbal, emotional, or physical abuse by an interpersonal partner. Focus on educating about domestic violence, empowering women to make choices which are best for them, healing from the impact, and seeing self as a survivor. The Trauma Recovery Group, free group for adults who have experienced sexual trauma in childhood or adulthood. Self-Esteem Group is a free psychoeducational support group for adults to learn tools to help build their self-esteem. The prevention team of the Women's Center is a relationship violence prevention program offered through the county in communities, schools, clubs, programs of faith-based groups, and other places where teens gather. Women's Center Prevention Team uses an evidence-based series of workshops that give children, preteens, teens, adults, and families the knowledge and skills to develop healthy relationships free of abuse and violence. Violence will not be tolerated. Everyone can and should do their part to prevent personal violence. And finally, they have their emergency shelters for those in crisis, as well as longer-term housing for low-income women and their children who are homeless or at imminent risk of homelessness. Thank you.